Okay guys, I wasn't really happy with the lighting in that last test, so we're going to grab both lights, change the brightness to 1200, pick color, I'm going to change it back to a bit of a yellow tint. Pedantic, but that's what being an artist is all about. Okay, so now we need to add the teleports to the map, so the first thing we need is a teleport destination. So right click a new entity, info underscore teleport destination. Hit apply, and we need to give it a name. The name's going to be 001. Hit apply. Now, just like the spawns, ensure that the teleport is slightly off the ground so we're not getting stuck when we teleport backwards. And the next thing we need is the teleport brush. So I'm going to select any brush in the map, increase my grid size, hold down shift, drag it over the entire level, and on the front view, bring it down. Now, because this is going to be a trigger brush, it needs a special material applied to it. So if I go to browse, in my filter, I type trigger, and then up here we've got our trigger tool. Hit apply. So any trigger entity requires this trigger texture applied to it. So we select our brush here and hit Control T. This is coming up because it's already a func detail. We say no to create a new entity, and we just type in trigger, trigger underscore teleport. Apply, remote destination, same name as our teleport destination, hit apply. So that trigger teleport will push the player back here. I just have some weird lines because I was typing. Yep, I had to turn them off. Okay guys, so we've added our basic teleport to ensure that when the player falls off the block, they go back to the beginning of the level. Now you guys know that each Bhop map has this feature where you can jump on a Bhop block, however if you stand on it, you get teleported back. So to do that, we need to do a bit more complicated things with the entities, and theory warning, I'm going to explain what we're going to do. So we are going to add teleports on top of each of the blocks. However, these teleports are only going to teleport game objects that have a special name. So we're filtering which game objects get teleported. And right above that teleport, we're going to add a trigger which changes the name of the player to the name that matches the filter that will ensure they are teleported. So that's just gives you a basic idea of what we're going to do. If it didn't make sense, hopefully it will in a second. So we're going to have to create a new entity, double click. This is going to be called a filter activator class. Hit apply, and we're going to call the name bhop fail underscore filter. This is an arbitrary name, doesn't matter what you call it. The filter class name bhop fail. Allow entities that match this criteria. Yep. Hit apply and drag this with the other entities. So now we are going to create another teleport on top of our block. So I'm just going to hold down shift, drag this block up here, apply the trigger texture, and it's going to sit right on top, and it's going to have a thickness of 2 units. I wouldn't go down to 1 unit because Counter-Strike Go does some funny things and your teleports don't work half the time. So 2 units is a good place. Hit Control T, no, and it's going to be a trigger teleport again. Hit apply, remote destination, 01. At the moment, it's exactly the same as the teleport below it. Now we're going to add a filter name to bhop fail filter. So it's only going to teleport entities that have the name of bhop fail as defined by our filter. The player has their name is just the default name. So what we're going to do now is hold down shift, drag up this teleport. So we've got 2 triggers right on top of each other, and we're going to change this top trigger from a trigger teleport to a trigger multiple. Hit apply, filter name, no filter, so we're just going to get rid of that. I'm going to go outputs, add, on trigger, target entities named exclamation activator. All that's referencing is whichever game object activates the trigger, because in the source engine, you don't need just the player to trigger a trigger. You could have like a barrel or something like that also triggering it. So via this input, we're going to add output with a parameter or override of target name bhop fail. After a delay of seconds of 0.09, apply. So that's just changing the name of the player to bhop fail, which this teleporter will then teleport the player because it only accepts entities called bhop fail after 0.09 seconds, aka give the player just enough time to jump on the platform, but any longer and they'll be teleported. Now after he comes off the block, or she comes off the block, we'll need to change their name back to the default name. So we change after a delay of 0.1 seconds, on trigger, exclamation activator, add output, target name, default. So sorry that this part is a bit longer, guys. I think it's important to know though. So this is a special teleport because it's only going to allow, it's behaving as defined by this filter. We go to the filter. This filter is only going to allow entities called bhop fail to activate any game object in the map. And this trigger multiple on top of it is going to say once the player, aka the activator, exclamation activator, touches this block, after 0.09 seconds, we're going to change his name to bhop fail or her name to bhop fail, thus allowing them to be teleported, and then 1/10 of a second, 1/100th of a second later, we'll change his name back, or her name, back to the default name of the player. Alright, hopefully there won't be too many sections like that. So now we're just going to hold down Shift, now that we've set up this teleport, and drag it to all of our blocks here. Ensure that they're all the same. Yep, 001, 001, outputs. Good. Okay, let's test that that complicated section works. F9. Okay guys, we're just going to test that our teleports worked as intended. So you can see that if we jump straight into here, we get teleported back instantly. If we jump to the first block, we can continue to jump on it. However, if we stop jumping, we do not get teleported. So obviously there's an issue. Let's go back and fix that. Okay guys, I have found the problem. It's fault of my own. We are not using a filter activator class. That is the wrong filter. We actually need a filter activator name. So sorry about that, guys. We'll apply that, and in the filter name, we will have to put bhop fail. So we just had the wrong filter type. It was trying to filter by a class. We wanted to filter it by a name instead. Let's just check that everything works. Great, that looks like it's going to work. And yeah, that's just part of making a map. Mistakes happen. You have to go back and find the issue and rectify it. So let's just test that real quick. Okay, we're back in game now. We can jump without being teleported. If we stand still, we do get teleported. So the only issue was we were using a filter class where we should have been using a filter name. And check that works, and we don't get stuck in the ground. So that is all working as intended.